So about Scan as well. Finn, what happened to Oxford? I don't see them in
the money
the.
question.
I don't see them
You
on
don't.
day 2.
Is it today? Ah, you. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I feel like most things I say will just sound like hard code, and it kind of is.
Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of the unNUELable podcast, the post-finals edition. I'm Thrall. I'm here with returning guest Younisco from ICR. Hello, Younisco. As well as 2 new guests, Finn from Oxford and Edgar from Nottingham. If you'd like to introduce yourselves or say some weirdly pleasant things about yourselves, now's your time. So, Younisco.
Hi, I'm Unisco. I was the Imperial College London Flex support for a bit, and I also played DPS for a little bit. I cannot think of anything weirdly pleasant that I can really think of or see, potentially. But, yeah.
Alright, Finn.
Yeah, I'm Finn. I'm flex support for Oxford Omnics in my second year, so yeah, I've played 2 years now. I also do not have anything off the top of my head weirdly pleasant about myself. Yeah, if anyone wants to point something out, then go for it. You know?
Awesome.
It's just a weirdly pleasant aura, you know.
Thank you. The aura. Yeah,
The aura's
gets
there.
mentioned a lot, of course.
I can confirm.
Right, and Edgar.
Real. I'm Edgar. I don't play. I yap instead. I'm a caster. I play mostly on Nottingham's second team, but I know quite a lot about the first team, and I was able to cast both the NUEL and NSE Finals. It's just very weirdly pleasant to be here right now, you know. So yeah, happy to be a guest. Happy to be involved with the hottest podcast going in the
Exactly.
world.
Yeah,
everyone was waiting for it.
I'm honored to be here.
Oh yeah, I'm also the #1 glazer. I think that's kind of my job.
Yeah,
it's my job, man.
For everyone who is very
excited
for the second episode, we have had delays for very important reasons. So that's all we're gonna say about that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the NUEL and NSE season that just passed. So starting with NUEL, what do we think about it? What happened? Is there anything surprising?
Wow, Warwick won. That's crazy.
Crazy, right?
Oh, sizzling hot take there. Jesus
very,
Christ.
very scary.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the whole bracket in general was relatively predictable. I don't think like too much crazy stuff happened in both of them. To be fair, obviously, yeah, Warwick winning. So
Oxford losing to Loughborough in the upper bracket.
That was
kind of
crazy.
funny,
yeah. Well, maybe I'll get into a bit more of the lore later, but yeah, Malga meta hit hard.
Is it just Malga meta?
It was a lot of things. I mean, Abik Sombra was the scary. That was just scary. I remember, yeah, we rolled out like Lijiang Tower. Like I think we had like 10% on the point, and he already was like had MP. We just weren't ready for. I don't know. It was just like a different meta to what we used to. I think it suited. Like obviously, Loughborough are a really good team. Like they play very well.
Yeah.
And they did deserve to win. Like when they played against us. So yeah, but
It's still 3-2, so like
yeah, no, it was
it's
close.
Like it was
yeah, I mean, we full captains. Yeah, we definitely like threw. Like, you could always look at it from a perspective of like, oh, like what are we doing? Like we're just throwing. But like, obviously, there was a good team. I think the meta suited them like as well, more than it suited us at least.
You just throw a random person on Moira, and then you can have like a
exactly, and then
play
you can
that
put a
carry
contenders player on the EMP character. So
yeah, plus with the Sombra, you didn't need to dedicate someone to learning Sombra because you just played frontline in that meta. You just played frontline, farmed the
Sombra
EMP
76, exactly.
Use it for cage. It was relatively simple. Nottingham couldn't figure it out for the life of us. We tried both our DPS on Sombra. It just didn't work. We just put City on Sojourn again, and it almost worked, but it was too late by that point.
We've actually tried that as well. I think the only time we have not played Doom on a map that's not King's Row was actually against you on Nottingham.
I remember
when we rolled out on the exact like Malga like metacom because we were like, you know, control center, like surely we have to play that here if they're gonna play it.
You gotta know your enemies.
Unfortunately, Suti just clicked all our heads and we lost
he does that sometimes. He also consumes 300 grams of protein a day, so there's that as well. He also punches boulders in his spare time. He also helps. He also helps orphans as well. He's a very heroic
No,
man.
of course.
That's the
Yeah.
glazing
The
coming
glazing,
in.
yeah, the glazing has already
Glazing
begun.
has already
Goddamn.
started.
Yeah,
Didn't
We
take
yeah.
long.
need like a timer. We need a timer of like how much they're gonna be spending glazing someone.
Yeah.
If
I'd also-
City has no fans, then I'm dead. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Love that.
I just also like to just shout out in the Malga meta the flex supports who were all forced onto Moira. I'm sure, yeah, we had a great time holding our piss and then also like sucking the enemy a little bit. Great way of putting it. But yeah, I was going through a lot of brain rot. Like I don't know, I'm kind of used to at least like it's not that you can't have an impact, but it's like the skill floor of Moira I think is just so high that it's like I'm getting the same amount of value as whatever like plat or diamond like Moira I'm playing against. Like
Yeah.
not because they're bad. Like I don't know. It's just like the way it is. I didn't know what to do, so I was just sort of
There's-
having no impact on the game, just following around my tank. Like
There's room for difference with a Moira. Like I think like there was a video a while ago, like for the Overwatch League, where it was a comparison between Crimson Moira and Violet Moira. And it's like, well, even at the pro level, like some of these Moiras are outperforming each other. They're charging calls quicker, they're weaving things in better. But ultimately, Moira's Moira. At the end of the day, you left click and you right click. It's a simple concept.
I
You
think
can do it.
yeah, like when it gets to the point where that makes a difference, then like in the top level, obviously that's gonna make a difference. But I think when we're at the level, we're just like throwing away ults every fight, and like it doesn't you know it makes a difference, but it's like it's not gonna win you the game, you know.
Yeah.
So
I swear Malga meta just felt like goats. I don't know which one of you played in goats, but if you have, that is exactly what it felt like. Nothing dies, you charge like your ultimate like every single fight, and then it's just like up to like who's better or like who gets called
Yeah.
out.
I was
Yeah,
telling
when
this
does-
story. Sorry,
You
yeah,
go,
I was telling
you go.
this story earlier, but I'll repeat it for the sake of the podcast. Where it was casting the first match, it was Loughborough Oxford, and it's like, okay, so what ult is going to charge first? And it's gone. Surely it's got to be the Coalescence, right? Wrong. It's the EMP for some reason. An EMP just comes out after 23 seconds, and I'm still like, my brain's still like 15 seconds back, and then an EMP comes out, and it's like, and from that moment I knew, oh, this meta is so cooked. This is such a cooked meta.
Perfect
like,
meta for playoffs.
I sort of liked it in a way of like it's more like team focused, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
and more like individual like pop off potential. This is coming from someone who is like a Moira fan. I like playing Moira, and I like playing my Kiriko where I'm able just to sit behind my tank and just sort of let them do everything. But I just sort of I was getting used to it, and then it just sort of got butchered, and it's like, okay, I'm just back to fun Arissa stuff. Like just
I'm actually convinced, or at least in like the uni leagues, like it wasn't actually, but I think it was butchered. Like everyone thought it was butchered, because when we played Love for the second time, like I was kind of convinced if they went Malga, like we were gonna have a hard time. Like Mirror, like we would have still played Arissa because like I don't think we were gonna win in the Malga Mirror.
Yeah.
But like they didn't play. I don't think they picked Malga once. They were playing like Diva, like I don't know, some other stuff,
Running it
whatever
down.
whatever Booger was cooking on the
Yeah.
day. But like, I don't think it was actually that bad still after. But I think a lot of people just like saw either the pros weren't doing it or like, you know, after like 2 days and were just like, oh, it's over. Even though I think it was still good.
I think people were playing it a lot, especially like at the beginning of like the whole season 9 stuff, because of the it was like pretty good into the ball like Zen Lucio stuff, because your Malgas is able just to like run into the Zen and just take absolutely no damage. I think people were sort of trying to figure out a way of how to make that work. And they're just sort of trying to like transition it into wherever. And I think it was still fine after the nerfs. Just if you're able to play the meta, like it's probably just the easiest thing, especially if you've got like just some random like plat players on your team or diamond players or whatever.
I'm fairly
It's just
sure.
easier to play the
Also-
meta.
Yeah.
It's also conceptually simple because it's a lot more team focused, of course. The emphasis does move away from the individual pop off, but conceptually, you are just telling 5 people to run forward, shoot the enemy, and
Death
win.
balling.
Pretty much,
Which,
yeah.
you don't have to think too much about, you know, like angles, or I need to have my Lucio take the position with my Sojourn while we need the tank to be making this. It's just run it down main, which, if there were more time, people probably would have figured out a way to deal with the Malga. But when we get thrust into this brand new meta, like it was the day before NUEL, I think, that the patch came into effect. And so we're just like, okay, well, we'll just play it, I guess, because we don't have time to figure out anything new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, I don't think like you guys on work, you didn't have that much of a problem with it, even though you still
I
played
mean,
Doom.
no,
like,
we just play all like
I mean,
all
you're
the
just
same
better,
stuff
so-
anyway, like-
yeah,
No, like
you don't care.
like from an inside perspective, the only adaptations we've ever made like throughout this season, or like at least as far as I can remember, was when the meta at the beginning was like kind of leaning towards that like Lucio Zan backline. I personally have had the time of my life, and we really enjoyed it.
I wonder why.
I think we played it for like a week of like NUEL and NSE, and then it just got like Zan just got nerfed, and suddenly it's like unviable. So we essentially just one-tricked Lucio, Curie, Doom, Tracer, and sometimes switched out the Tracer for an Echo. That was pretty much it. So
So fun.
so fun,
Crazy.
so adaptable, you know. But it worked clearly.
But if we're being honest, here, right now with university like esports, and until like there are big team changes, it's like Warwick and then tier break, and then maybe another tier break, and then like everyone else. To be honest,
Not
sorry,
gonna put
Finn.
Oxford
I know-
anywhere in there.
I mean,
Like,
I mean, to be fair,
I gotta.
like the NUEL finals were a lot closer than I think a lot of people were imagining it to
Yeah.
be.
To be honest, they were
I-
kind of yeah. Oh, you go.
We were in the studio before, literally just saying like we were all joking around like, oh well, we're not going to be in here long. I'm going to get a bag for casting a 4-0, and then it went longer, and it's like, oh, but it was surprisingly pleasant, you know.
Really
Very, very
pleasant.
weirdly
Good
pleasant.
time.
Weirdly pleasant
very
times.
weirdly pleasant. But
I
like
mean-
before those finals, Warwick had asked a few of us if they were able to do like a warm up scrim, and I
Oh, yeah.
genuinely think that we warmed them down instead of warming them up, because you have 5 support players trying to fill in, you know, like a tank and 2 DPS and 2 supports, and all of us individually were like so much worse than like the Oxford people, and it was horrific. Like we played 2 maps and they were just all washes. J9 was like blading in our backline, just like 1v5, and like pissing off the entirety of Warwick whilst doing that. And
No,
like
we just had to
I
like
think they
warm our
lose
voices
first
up.
map. I think you guys lost first map, right? In the
Yeah, we
in the
did.
finals. And like I was just like in a call with people. I'm like, holy shit, we just like managed to dismantle Warwick from the inside.
We appreciate your service. You know, I'll pay you for that one later. Like,
Yeah.
No, I
The
think
sleeper agent.
I can only possibly blame the fact that Oxford figured out that they can just play Orisa and like be annoying as fuck to Andreas, and like they're gonna be doing fine. I think going from Malga meta, which I think we honestly prefer to Orisa meta, it was just like neither of those are like good or fun to play against. It's just like,
well, considering like Loughborough beat us on Malgameta and then you smoked Loughborough like the same day, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think we would have had like much of a. I don't know. Warwick's always been one of those matchups for us, at least for me. Like it always feels so close. Like sometimes we get 2-0'd and I still feel like we just should have won. Like we could have won. Like often it's 99 to 99. Like it's like one of those like one thing goes the other way or whatever, and then we win. I think in your finals we got some of those, like we just got that kill at the right time. Like we picked J9 walks into a high noon. Shout out, thank you for that.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. You know, that just like goes one way or the
roll
other. Like,
clip.
And Warwick want to try and divert their attention over onto the point. Just oh! You don't peek that, homie.
J9's pinky toe was poking out and Renee shot it clean off.
yeah, roll the
Good
clips,
prospect,
please.
J9.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think in your finals, like we sort of got some of those, like I don't know, lucky, but like it just like some more things went our way. Like we were all playing really well, to be fair, until me on the
Yeah.
pool, and then I ran it down. But you know,
Yeah.
Right.
the rest of us.
I mean,
yeah.
a comment that I had like on why it was relatively close is because, and I was mentioning this a lot on the broadcast. I want to see if everyone agrees. It's that the Orisa comp, it's really good at just like playing point, and
Yeah.
like the one weakness of Warwick comp is that it has very bad like objective control, right? So on control and flashpoint, where the entire game is play the point, dumbass, you can kind of make that work. Not to say that Oxford didn't like do anything extra with it. You still have to be a bit proactive, take angles, etc. But for the most part, you can just walk up onto the point and then force Warwick to come into you, and then maybe they'll make a mistake you can capitalize off of. And then on like hybrid and payload and shit, where Warwick just have infinite time to move about the map, it's like, okay, well, it's over. So that's why NSE Finals, it was quite worrying when Control instantly went 2-0 to Warwick, and it was like, so it's going to be one of those matches this time. Right.
Yeah. Control's always been like the closest between Oxford and Warwick, I think. Like that's what.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Flashpoint, I would say for Flashpoint, like it's actually so annoying to play against because it's like you're playing 5 characters that like they come out of spawn and then it takes them like 3 seconds to get to the point. You know, you take one fight, you're like, oh, you know, you try and get a stagger, and then Andreas like.
We don't have point presence, but at least we can go back to point like. Really
exactly.
quickly.
But you take like 3 fights per Flashpoint, and we take like sometimes we only take 1. Like we lose a fight, like if the points flip mid fight, it's just over. Like, go next Flashpoint. So I'd say for that one, like your comp is good for that. I mean, you say you guys are really good at Flashpoint.
Yeah.
So I was actually surprised. I was really like happy when we beat you on Saravasa because, like, yeah, I don't think we'd ever beat you on Flashpoint. I was remember saying after I was like, that's their best map. Like they're gonna be boomed. They're gonna be boomed.
I can also put it bluntly as to why that map was won. Renee had sex.
When does he not? When does he not?
Renee did absolutely fucking unspeakable things on the cast, and it's like, okay, this helps.
Yeah, Renee on the cast was absolutely
and that
just,
helped
like,
on Flashpoint.
such a menace. I remember at the beginning of playoffs, I think we played you once, or was it like last week or Swiss? I don't really remember. You guys rolled out the cast for the first time ever against us, and it was such a painful match.
Renee's insane, dude.
We like genuinely like we voted it together, and it was like, okay, so we didn't do anything wrong here. Renee just fucking dinked us 3 times in a row, and it's like, what can you really do? Like,
everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face, you know.
Exactly.
It's like, it's like how do you prepare for their cast with hitting every conceivable headshot?
Yeah, pretty much. Something I wanted to talk about. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
Okay, something I want to talk about that I think was a big surprise to us in playoffs in both NUEL and NSE is how quickly UCL or Houston Outlaws bombed out of playoffs. Any thoughts on the topic?
I mean, I guess we just asked Finn because you guys knocked them out of NUEL. Like you 3-0 them. Were they just not really doing it, or like because their first match was Warwick, and it's like, okay, well, that was we saw that on stream. That went to New Junk City, and it was just fucking shenanigans and chicanery all over the place.
I felt so bad.
That wasn't a real map.
I felt so bad in the interview after.
I completely forgot about. Oh my god, I forgot about.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
I could just feel your judgments for the top 1v1 while you were asking me questions for the interview, and I was like, oh no.
When I was cast that, I was kind of to be brutal. When I was cast that, I was kind of pissed off because I wanted there to be more of a show.
I don't blame you.
A match actually happening.
I think
there was this, and I'm like,
I feel like there's nuance to a tour 1v1. You can give that some context.
I think we're all expecting much more of a match, which is part of the surprise of ECL and playoffs is that from the kind of dominant team that was very close to winning it last time which is being a massive issue to pretty much everyone because 2-0 is just an insane Queen player. Something just broke. I
mean, has Queen fallen out the meta potentially?
I don't think it's a Queen issue. I think it's more of internal issues. I think
they're one of those two. On paper, they're very scared. I remember Luke said on the last podcast that I'm always hyping them up and we should actually be scared of them. But I don't know. To me, they were always presented as this really scary team. They got 2-0. I think it's also I mean they are on paper, but when you play them it could also be a product of they'd never really played their full roster throughout all of Swiss or whatever the format is until playoffs. We'd had all that practice playing together and also playing against this. I don't know. I think maybe the comp didn't suit them a little bit. But overall, I was a little bit worried. I think we just lost to Loughborough, and I realized we were playing them, and I was like, oh, this is not looking good. The mentals and whatever. But then we played them, we were like, oh, this is literally so free. Free's a bit, yeah.
Freer than the United States of America, bro.
You know, you gotta have some confidence.
Yeah.
It might be a bit of a comp issue. I I feel like the Mauga stuff did what the Queen stuff did, just almost like infinitely better. The whole like death ball run in pressure W key.
I'm not sure.
How was
I
like
don't
them like are they? I don't know about their mentals. Like, are they like boom
I mean,
easily? Like,
the new Junk City game might have.
We
Yeah.
need
there
to
an
enter
element
their
there?
we need to enter their dugout, bro, and just fucking wiretap to
They
see what
have,
happens.
from what I've seen, if things are going their way, great. They're on top of the world, you know. But if things go like a little bit tits up, it's just
It's
like
over.
completely
It's just
over.
like Kent then.
Yeah.
Don't know what you're talking about with Ken. Don't know what you're talking about with Ken.
Goodness me.
Right, another thing I
Ah.
wanted to ask, Ekta, I wanted to give you an opportunity to excuse or to hype up your team from their playoffs performance. So
Mhm.
what happened to
Well, I mean, we
Donuts?
saw the brackets that happened initially. Donuts wasn't rated particularly highly. How much glazing am I going to be doing here? Like on a scale of 1 to 10.
Go wild.
What?
10. Go
Well,
crazy.
Let it all out. Let it
Let
all
it
out.
rip.
So we felt like before the Amalgamata happened, we had a good lock on things because our tank was really good at just living on whether that be Ram or Orisa. And to put it bluntly, it was put the resources into Sooty because that guy is literally 12 foot tall. And his right hand was like fucking kissed by Jesus Christ himself when he came out of the womb, you know? So that guy could hit shots. That guy could hit shots for days. And we were watching some of the matches, and so we weren't predicted against Durham. Like, I think maybe like there was one prediction. Everyone else was like, yeah, Durham 3-0's Donuts. Nope, because we just played really well. Maddie's a insane Kiri player as well, so we had her on the Kiri. Harry picked up Bat pretty well, and then Luster isn't the most talented, but it's like the traditional kind of flex DPS role of Bro can play like anything to a good level, and he's also relentlessly positive and just great to have on the team. So he could fill in on basically anything, not necessarily like the hit scans or the tracer, but if it was like, okay, fuck it, we're running a May this time, or we're running a Sombra this time, or a Reaper this time, Bro could just play that. And that was good. And we rolled over Durham comfortably, and we rolled over Portsmouth comfortably. And then the Amalgamata happened, and we all fucking died instantaneously. Individually, I genuinely think that, like, pound for pound, we have some of the best players. Our team play is dog wank, to be a little honest. We have no fucking team play. And it fell apart, Amalgamata. We tried to... We did scrim a little bit. We tried to play the Sombra. Neither Luster or Sooty could really play the Sombra that well. We just couldn't really adapt, and then we got rolled over by Durham again. It's like, okay, and now it's over. And then we ended up losing in NSE to... We were doing fine in NSE. We had like a really close match against Durham. They won that, but apparently it was a super fun one. Didn't watch it. And then we lost to Kent playing Weaver Brig. So skill issue, I guess. GG.
I love that.
We just got skill
watching
issued
that.
at the end.
I do
At the end of the
remember
day,
watching that game.
we got skill issued. Simple as that. So yeah, it started off well because the meta was in our favor, and then we had to play as a team, and it went tits up. And then the day after we bowed out of NSE, they did the hotfix to get rid of Amalgamata, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
So the conclusion is Amalgamata just broke everyone, and if not for the
Amalgamata broke us.
Well, not everyone, clearly, not everyone.
If not for the hotfix, then Lovebird just takes it all. Is that the conclusion here?
Well, to look at our NUEL matchups, we had Warwick. We would have lost 3-0 anyway. Happens. We were like hard stratting Warwick a lot. I wasn't able to watch the match because I was casting at that point, but it clearly didn't work at all. So there we are.
You reminded me. Yeah. Sorry.
And then we would have. I mean, if we had Dome in the rematch on the same meta as the week before, where we won quite comfortably, then we probably would have won again. And then lost to Loughborough, but you know, no, not Loughborough. Lost to Oxford, but still happens.
So yeah, it reminded me of a time in winter when, well, after unfortunately dropping to the losers bracket like almost immediately in both tournaments, there was one I'm fairly sure it was NSE, there was a team. I would like to be sure. I'm not certain. I think it was Exeter, or the Expendables, if I remember. Who were basically, they found out that they're going to be facing us in the second round of NSE, and they were like heart-shutting for us. They were like asking teams around, like making sure that they know what to do against us. Basically, constructed an entire counter comp against us, just to maybe have a chance. And then we dropped out right before them to the losers bracket, and all of their strats went for naught. So shout out to them. I really respect the grind, but sorry.
Counter comping and theory crafting only gets you so far when the players on the other team are clicking you harder than you click them.
Take notes, Finn.
It's like, well, this is a problem.
It is literally like if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed type thing. Like if you're just like not feeling yourself on the day or whatever, it's just down to that, I think.
Plus momentum as well. So much of esports
Yeah.
is just like your mentality of like, today we're going to hit every shot. Like today I'm gonna like kiss Exeter on the lips because of how good he is at Sojourn. You know?
It's sometimes you're doing
sometimes
that
it doesn't
all the
happen.
time, regardless.
Don't we all
No
want to do that?
No comment. No comment.
Right.
I do think that actually like does make a. Oh, do you want to move on?
No, you can go.
I was just gonna say like it. What was I gonna say? Like it does. Yeah, like clicking on people. I think that there have been like a couple times where, like, let's say we're attacking first point Kings Row and we just win because like Rene does his like shooty, they're all dead sort of thing. And then like so there's nothing to VOD review there. Like even if our strat was garbage, it's just like, oh, we like click on heads. But then like we can play that map again, and like if that doesn't happen, then I don't know. So like I think we kind of had that with you guys. Like I think we won Kings Row, and then in your finals we got like full health. Like it wasn't even close. I mean, you guys had like VOD reviewed it. You didn't like Christopher. Like
We didn't
bunch of goer.
You just played Logs.
Yeah,
Sorry
but
to
I think
say.
it's that sort of thing where it's like we were like, oh yeah, we got Kings Row down. Like last time we played, like we capped first. It was free, like it was easy. Then we pushed payload, like, and then we suddenly realized like, oh, like Rene's not double dinked someone across the map. So what are we gonna do now? Like our strat suddenly just doesn't work,
Because I'm gonna be real. Watching NUEL finals, you won control 2 on the Orisa comp, and it's like, wow, okay, this is a really cool Orisa comp that we have to beat Warwick on the Orisa comp, and then you swapped off Orisa, and then got full health, and I'm just sitting here in the fucking booth like, okay, this
literally.
is
I think
what's happening.
Like as that map
theory...
was going, yeah. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say that the theory was that Ram can like sit on the point better and just block. Like we had this strat that we were gonna do on Kings Row. I mean, it wasn't a strat, but like we all knew. I knew exactly where I was gonna play. Like it was gonna be fine. And the first time we did against Warwick, which was whenever we last played them, like it worked perfectly, and we capped first time. Like and it was like, oh, we'll just do that again. But then they'd obviously like thought about it and be like, oh, well, like, and they played it differently, and then we had no response to that. Like I don't actually think it was a Ram issue. I think it was.
I'm just saying, Thrall's so fucking smug right now.
Maybe he deserves it. He has won every tournament ever. So
that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Apart from NSE.
I don't think it was like a Ram issue. I think it was just like I don't know, like they were prepared.
I think from our point of view, it was very much a Ram issue because
okay.
After
sorry, why do I even open my mouth? What's the point?
Like, after that control map, after we lost, we were like,
revised.
we're literally thinking like, holy shit, like the Orisa comp is really strong. We don't really know what to do about it. Like we're gonna have to like think about this. So we're literally just like stratting out. Okay, like the Orisa is gonna go here on Kings Row. That's what they're gonna do. And then you just roll out on Ram, and we're like, oh, they're on Ram. This is fine.
Winnable.
Like,
yeah. Sometimes we do cook, a little too hard.
Yeah, you did go back on the Orisa to your credit, so you did.
Yeah.
Do fine.
Well, I mean, the RAM wasn't exactly working. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a RAM issue entirely, but I do think if we were on Orisa, I don't think like it would have gone that differently. Like because the whole point was like I'd go top and like we'd go with it, but like Matt Murray was like changing where he'd played from last time, and suddenly I was like, oh, I don't actually know what to do. Like or like no one fed for you guys or whatever. So. Yeah.
Happens sometimes.
Who would feed? Who would feed? Which one is it today?
We don't have any feeders in America, I'm afraid.
In the wheel.
That's definitely not true.
Alright, should we move on to talking about the SCAN tournament?
Yes. Because we were going to talk about NSE finals, however,
Oh.
Oh, we should talk about NSE
Oh, we
Finals.
forgot about NSE Finals.
No
That's the
fin, no
thing.
win.
Well, no, the idea. Well, I mean, that's the idea. We talk about Scan because the NSE Finals were, they were a match of all time.
I think you should
It
talk
was
about
one
like
of the
audio.
games.
No,
Yeah.
like, just for some context.
Yeah, just for some context. There wasn't really much team play going on at NSE Finals
Yeah.
because, unfortunately, the audio setups that were provided for LAN left a lot to be desired. So
You're so good at sugarcoating.
I know.
Yeah, don't want to get demonetized.
TLDR, the game felt like we're playing ranked. There was like nobody could hear anyone. The LAN hall was like too loud to hear like your teammate comms or like whatever's happening in the game. So a lot of the time, for example, when Oxford switched to Winston at one point, I wouldn't find out that the Winston is jumping me until he's on top of me because I cannot hear that the Winston is jumping. And likewise, Oxford was never able to hear Andreas like do anything, like not even charge punch or anything, purely because it's impossible. So if you're thinking about why NSE was such a role and what happened there, why we made some interesting comp decisions, that's why. That's entirely why.
Blame entirely the audio.
Yeah,
I remember watching it back like the next day and like I mean in like a horrible way, but like what was going on? Like it just I was looking at like you know, we have a general idea of macro and what we're doing and like what we were doing. Like it was just so obvious to me, like just watching my team and like knowing my team really well. I was like, we can't have been communicating that well. I remember Rene saying, yeah, he like couldn't hear Andreas charging up his punch. Because like yeah, I was there last year and like it was so like one of my favorite stories is like I think Luke was on the point at one point, and we were not pushing like push bot as you do, and we actually like we were shouting but like he couldn't hear us, so we had to actually like tap him in real life next to us to get him to like leave the bot because he was just like happily pushing the bot. We were like 2 down, you know. But like when I say you can't hear anything, like it's actually like
instead of giving a call out with like a ping or saying like, oh, they're in main or like they're high ground, you just point at the fucking screen and say they're right there,
yeah, like just take the headphones off of him and just like speak in real life.
Actually, I think there is like an art and like a special meta when it comes to playing on LAN with like audio conditions like these, because any kind of dive or any kind of like not very team play reliant comp is gonna do fantastic.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I think for like the first map or two, I was playing a lot of Lucio, and playing that hero without like proper comms and without like proper team play, it's just impossible. Like half the time I was literally just idling like kind of in neutral,
you just
trying
go full
to do
Reddit
whatever.
mode at that point.
So I literally just told my team like I can't play this hero. I'm playing Zen, and it's like, you know, we're playing Zen Kiri, fucking Doom Tracer, Sojourn, whatever. Nobody's ever seen it, nobody's ever played it, but it just works because Zen just doesn't need the team play.
I think you default a lot to just like shooting what you see rather than what you hear. Like, and not that you know, I'm not coping. I mean, I wasn't even there, but like I do think like having in a situation where there was no, like if there was no audio at all, like your comp would do so much better because you just like you can sort of just do like a 3-2-1, like shoot this guy, whereas we're like doing so much macro, like, you know, Rene's micromanaging us, you know, as you like to joke, you know, we're, you know, how am I meant to know where to go if Rene's not in my ear telling me where to stand? Like, you know, I don't have my own will, my own free will of like how to play the game. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bro hit with the surrender to my will by fucking Rene. Unbelievable.
Right.
So that was NSE.
That was NSE. Let's go to Scan then.
Yes.
What happened there?
Kent cooked, apparently. Kent cooked. Not sure how that happened.
Kent has really good alumni. I think that's why.
And they very much do. Though, to be fair, we as in like the ICL people, so it was me, it was Tom, we had 2 alumni, me and other DPS player, both off-rolling, and a plat support player. We almost beat Kent. I don't know how. Actually, I do know how. They were locking D.Va, and we were playing Sim Mei, as you do, because we are so incredibly cringe. And we almost beat them. Though, albeit it might be because I was like their first game, and it was like the first round or whatever. But it was a lot closer than we probably expected as well.
Yeah, I think Kent taking 2 maps off of Portsmouth, and that is Portsmouth in like almost our original roster with like
Yeah,
JJPT, Lukey Boy, Rift, and
That
I
was
Don't Want to Be You with
weird.
Pink joining. I did not expect it. I was watching Lukey Boy stream. I wasn't playing in the tournament, just like happily chilling, but I was watching Lukey Boy stream.
If you were in Poland, it couldn't have been that happy.
True. You're so right.
I joke. The cranberry vodka I had in Poland was lovely.
Pretty nice.
Fair
yeah.
enough.
What can I say?
And when I just saw like the scores like on the side of the screen, it's like Kent, Portsmouth 2-2. What? What's happening? How is it possible?
Someone cooked here.
Someone definitely cooked there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Portsmouth made a comeback for this current tournament and almost the original roster.
Yeah.
Probably gonna do it
They
again
did
for
alright.
NC Summer. They did
Yeah.
alright, yeah.
Simple as that. Like
Pretty
they
much.
didn't win, but they put on a good show.
Warwick
Are
won,
they the
I'm
only
surprised.
ones that have beaten Warwick this season then?
On
Like
the
in a full
Doom Mirror,
series?
they won a map on the Doom Mirror. Remember
Sure.
that. Etch it into history.
They-
That one
It's
image.
a
of Andreas
JJPT.
JJPT is just magical, man.
It's
that
the
guy.
JJPT effect.
I
After-
did tune into his
Sure,
stream when
sure.
he was playing Orisa. Like he was doing some mad things. Like it was really.
After I
impressive,
saw
I'm not gonna
that
lie.
map-
He's an insane tank player. Really
Yeah.
good.
He is.
When I saw them lose, was it Ishbran said that they lost on the Doom Mirror? I think it was.
Yes,
When
it
I
was.
when I saw them lose it on stream, the first message I typed to them in like our team chat was like, "Why did you lose push? Like you're ruining like our 100% win rate on push across the entire season because we haven't lost it before in scrims or officials, and it's on a Doom Mirror as well. It's the worst possible."
Yeah.
that one image of just Andreas dying, and you see the entire team kill credit. That summed up the map basically. It was like how can we? I'm convinced that JWT didn't go Doom to like do Doom things. It was just to punch Andreas whenever he came in.
Mental damage.
like whenever he blocks, I will simply punch the man, and then just follow him around the map like a fucking paparazzi fan or some shit. I don't know. But it worked.
I'm genuinely surprised that Andreas hasn't quit Overwatch yet with like the meta that he's had to like persist, because like every single official that he's played the past like 2 months or whatever, it's always been like an Orisa just like spearing him on cooldown, just
Mhm.
blocking all of his punches, and then you have like Lucio just booping him all the time. It's like it's actual torture. Like it's torture.
I feel like
Yeah.
for him that'll never change though, because he's actually so good that you can't
Yeah.
you can't play a comp where Doom plays well into and try to counter like the rest of you for, because I'm not gonna lie, Andre, like that guy just does things like I don't know, like you're alive and then it's like, oh, and you're dead, like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Andreas might be the most Swedish person I've ever seen. I just want to put that out there.
Well, what does that even mean?
You know exactly what I mean.
I
The other
mean-
question I had is, when Scan happened, what kind of ended up working for So Portsmouth, they played Lukey Boy on the May. Obviously, Lukey Boy is like an incredible May player, so that helps. On the first map, it felt like fucking useless. On Esperanza and Shambali, it felt like he was doing God's work. How is the May so like feast or famine against the Warwick comp? I don't really understand that.
I think every time we play against a May, the number one thing is like just the wall usage, because everything else kind of doesn't really matter so much for a comp, unless like Lukey Boy just like gets magic picks with like his icicles. And
I mean,
sure,
like
that
no one's
matters,
going to
but-
get caught by the left click for too long.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That's
nobody's
never
gonna get
gonna
caught.
make a
So
difference.
the only thing that we ever watch out for is like literally just walls. So I assume maybe it is literally just a map difference of like whenever there's a map that's like more open, has more flank routes, or like you can't really get split easily by the wall. And it's usually just Andreas getting split, because all walls pretty much just want to target him,
Yeah.
because that's just how Portsmouth was playing. Unless like the map really allows for like good walls like that, then May's just not an issue. Whereas if it does,
Yeah.
like Shambali, for example, like it's such a linear map at times. Like some of the like second point, for example, is just like tiny. Like a single wall can split
Yeah.
an entire
This is
team.
a straight
Shambali
line.
is also just the Portsmouth map.
Pretty much.
They just play that map harder than everyone else does. And it's like, okay, go
Yeah.
next kind of deal.
No, it's not the
Yeah.
Oxford map anymore. It used to be. It used to be our home, and it's
We'll
yeah.
have to see
But
Portsmouth
then
v
you
Oxford in
lost on
summer.
it, so you
then.
know.
It's the Portsmouth
Happens.
map until they restart the map in the middle of summer finals. Shout out to JJPT. I still remember.
Uh-oh.
Was this
Uh-oh.
last summer or?
Yeah, last summer, basically what happened was, it was a Warwick v Portsmouth final, was,
Who would have thought?
who would have thought really, and we had a pause for whatever reason, some technical reason, in the middle of Shambali, and luckily at least it was like first side attacking, so there wasn't like any defense to think about, but when unpausing, JJPT, whose lobby leads, used a keyboard shortcut and got them confused.
Oh.
And instead of unpausing the map, restarted it. So
Right.
for a
What do you
solid,
Off a restart. Off a
do?
restart.
for a solid like 10 minutes, we were literally just talking like to the other team and like to the admins, basically like asking like what do we even do? Like where do we go from here? We ended up basically artificially getting the payload back into the same place. Checking which ults like were like still in play and like making sure that those ults are like the ones that we have, and just waiting out the timer until it's exactly the same time as it was before the pause.
That's just surely not possible though. Like,
Which was
It
it wasn't very possible because I think because of that it's only because of that we were able to win that, because we had like I think the payload was slightly out of place and it only allowed for like one fight until we capped. Basically, if not for that, we would have lost. But that's pretty much it.
You need to revoke your championship, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was still a 4-1,
minus
so
one,
like
-1 title, -1.
-1. It's Jova.
Surely that was the only one that they've won, right? Surely.
Surely. So about Scan as well. Finn, what happened to Oxford? I don't see them in
the money
the.
question.
I don't see them on
You
the
know,
day 2.
is it top 8? Ah, you yeah.
But-
I don't know. I feel like most things I say will just sound like hard cove, and it kind of is. But like,
However,
who did we lose? I think we lost to Manchester. Horrocks on Tracer.
that was a big upset.
How lose?
Yeah. Well, okay. So first, it was a lot of reasons. I don't want to say like, I mean, we didn't come out like locked in. I can't lie. We first map we had a sub because Eris wasn't there. Who's still good at game. That's not why we like lost. And then we kind of came out like half trolling, like half. I think Renid touched the game since NSE Finals. Like genuinely hadn't launched it, which is like, oh, why should he have? I don't think any of us were taking the tournament that serious. Like you know.
Yeah.
And then we lost third map, and we were like, oh, like maybe we should lock it in. And then second map, like we held them on Midtown actually, and then. And then we, as soon as we held them, we were like, oh yeah, like we're back into it, like we're fine. And then we got a little bit silly again. And then when we locked back in, like they deserve to win. Like they played well, like all of that. Yeah, we just kind of threw. And I also I don't think we really realized the like not severity, but like the impact that it would have losing one game, because we were like, oh, it's Swiss, like we can lose a game and then we'll just have to. But what it meant is that like the next 3 games were like piss easy. Against whoever we were, and then we played against you. We played against Warwick, and then our opponent map win percentage was just like scuffed. So I don't know. It was just like us being dumb, basically. I obviously I believe like if we played Manchester again, we'd easily beat them. And to be fair, when we played you, it was actually quite close, even though 2-0'd you. But you know, I can always say that.
Yeah, of course.
So
Always
yeah,
close,
so then we
yeah.
had 9th place. It was good, you know. I didn't want to play Sunday anyway, you know. Like I had some
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
I had some work to do, and like
yeah.
it just, you know.
Had to
So
revise
it
your first
all
exams,
exactly.
yeah,
I had to revise for my exams, you know. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
So
you're
it was
so
just
right.
it was just a bit of us being bad. Like we did like. I'm not gonna cope too hard. Like we did deserve to lose. Like we did try. Like there were 3 minutes on Midtown where we were trying to win the game. We were like, okay, let's actually like lock it in for this 3 minutes, and they beat us. So I could also blame the map pool as well, because I think the map pool was complete garbage. But you know,
That was just a like
It was
stage
quite bad.
to OWCS map pool, no?
Yeah, it is, and
which is also garbage.
It
like,
is. It is.
so
garbage.
bad.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it
There's
is
nothing
garbage.
else like that.
it was like we played Oasis and then Midtown or something. It's like what? Like I've never played these maps in my life. Like this is Yeah.
fake maps.
Lovely man.
Yeah, it actually exists. If it's not
I
King's
hope
Row,
I-
then like
I hope
Yeah.
everyone typed exclamation point giveaway in the chat to enter the giveaway. I was told to say that like a few thousand times, so I hope everyone did. And someone
I entered
wins
the giveaway. To be
I
fair,
entered
I
the
didn't
giveaway.
win,
That's
so
so
it must have been a scam. You know.
It's a fake company.
Yeah, it doesn't
What
actually
can I
So
say?
true,
exist.
so true.
Just
For
trying to
le-
get me
for
to
le-
follow
for legal
some
reasons-
Scan Computers Twitter account for
For
no
legal
reason.
reasons, Scan Computers is a real company. Please
For
don't.
legal reasons, these are jokes.
For legal reasons, I
No,
am
no
predicting-
comment. No comment.
No comment.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. If you needed some new systems, go to the scan.co.uk.
Is it the ad break? Is the ad break coming up?
I break part of the podcast. Guys, subscribe to our Patreon.
We're actually sponsored by Manscaped. Yeah, it's a weird.
Anyone got a HelloFresh code available?
All right, is that it
Unfortunately
for
not.
scan, or do we have anything
so,
else
yeah.
to talk about? Cool. So let's move on to any hot takes that we might have. So I would say let's start with Finn. Do you have
Oh,
any
God.
hot takes or any
I've
drama?
been talking a lot. Do you wanna start with I don't know, something else? I mean, I'll go if you want me to go. I have some things to say. Perhaps.
Alright, go for it. Go
Go
for
on, blood.
okay.
Go on, blood.
Well, no, it's about one of fellow teams, you know, Loughborough University, you know, a classic unNUELable star. Gotta burn some bridges. But so basically, what happened is this from it's actually just not that deep, but they were not particularly happy with like the way it ended up working out. Let's say that like to start like our history. We've had like a history of them with like them typing in chat. Like I'm all for trash talk. I think they take it too far, like a personal level. Also, like they didn't necessarily have the recognition that like they're streaming. And we can watch their stream. So like I've you know, I'm a bit ego, but sometimes after I play a team, like, I like to watch the stream back, like see their reactions. But I logged onto their stream once, and they were just like they're actually just like shit talking like people's appearances on our team, like you know what I mean? Like for me, that like kind of crossed the line. So it's like whatever.
That's just fucked up.
Yeah, you know. So and they were talking about that sort of thing. And so we've like had that history of like we're not exactly friendly towards them. But like it's not like, you know, I don't hate them. But yeah, so we played them. We lost fair and square in the Amalgam Mirror. They deserved to win that, you know, however way it worked out. And then for the lower bracket finals, they were like they were adamant on like rescheduling it. And they wanted to reschedule it to like 10 p.m. on like a Saturday. Which I live I live with my parents like when I'm not at uni. I wasn't at uni, so like I'm not playing like officials can last like 2 hours. I'm not gonna like play shouting, like keeping my entire family. I know they were just like being like, you know, like it's whatever. So we like, and also if we didn't have a good like relationship with them, I was like, I'm not gonna reschedule for you guys. Like you guys have been like horrible to us, and not horrible bit.
Weirdly unpleasant.
And yeah. And then we played them. We
Weirdly
played them
unpleasant.
exactly. We played them on the day, and there was this whole thing that they weren't gonna have their full team. And for the first map, they didn't. They had like Sid the Sloth, like the GOAT Sigma player. Which
yeah,
funnily
Sid
enough, and they had
the
Booger on DPS. Like, but they had their two best players. They had a Booger and a Beak for like the entire series, like which are the deadlifts of the team realistically. Like maybe David as well.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, no. To be fair, they're all good players, obviously. But like, so we were expecting them to have that, and then they had their full team. And then the next map, they actually did have whoever they were missing, and they had like five. They're 5 people. You know, maybe they're a bit tired. Like, I kind of appreciate that. It's probably not ideal situation for them. Someone that just got off a plane. Like I get that. Like that's annoying. Like it's annoying for them as well. But
It is what it
you
is
know,
right now.
but and at the end of the day, like it just like it wasn't close, which was all fine. And then afterwards, they like. I don't know. It was a lot of bad plus mad in my opinion. Like that was just like they were like messaging and just being like, oh, like they were so like Oxford was so unreasonable, and they wouldn't reschedule, and like our players were like this and that, and it I don't know, and they even like I don't know if you saw like I think it was a NUEL announcement. They got like a little. They'd obviously contacted the admins because there was like a little message there that was just like, please bear in mind that like Loughborough, like, you know, blah blah blah, like whatever. And I was just like, you know what, like that's just kind of cringe.
No announcement.
So you know, Bridgeburn, but
they have to grind themselves in a little.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Happens to the best.
I should also mention as well, like apart from Amalgameta, like apart from Magometa, we've played them multiple times, and like it's really not been that close. So like
Right.
you know, obviously
Weird
they had a
flex.
chance against us. No, but like it was just like this. It just felt such cope. Like the 3 maps we played, the 2 maps we played against them, where they had their full team on the Saturday. Like I think we 3-0'd Saravasa, like full health, or like
Yikes.
held first point of like where like it just like it wasn't close. Like I just thought it was a little cringe, and considering the history you have between them, where like I do think that crosses a line if you're like actually talking about like appearances of players and like making those sort of comments that like. Especially like you're streaming, like what are you expecting? Like you can say that behind closed doors, I don't care, but I can literally watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my bridge I wanted to slash.
Right.
Nice.
Basically. So yeah, can't wait to. If you want to send me death threats, like that's fine. Like I don't mind. I get them all the time anyway. You know.
Jesus Christ.
That would be weirdly unpleasant.
that's
That would be
uncoachable
really
style. You know,
unpleasant.
I'm a big fan of the uncoachable podcast. So
Right. Let's
Who we are not at all inspired by.
first not.
No.
Let's
The
rein ourselves
Reddit
in
comments,
here.
the Reddit comments are really funny, where it's like, we have uncoachable at home, and it's just this.
Let's rein ourselves in here and
My bad, sorry.
speaking exactly about that. Talk about the whole Free Horrocks drama. So Younisco, if you wanna
Well, yeah, who
Oh,
here has the best?
Oh my god!
explanation of what
You're putting me
actually
on the spot.
happened?
I
I'm putting you on the
actually,
spot.
I genuinely do not remember half of it, or like an amount of it.
I recall some amount. I'll try
I
and fill
recall
in
s-
gaps where you
Go
do.
for it.
Yeah.
So, there was an MMU versus Glasgow series that happened in NUEL. Yeah, it was NUEL. And I believe Horrocks was being very, very adamant about getting them ID checked, given their
Yeah.
past of ringing. Random side thing. When I was playing them in spring last year, which is when they were found out that they had ringers, we played them, and the series was really close, and we lost. So all I'm saying is that if they didn't have their ringer on that day, then maybe our 26th run, when we finished 26th in NUEL, you know, maybe that would have been completely different.
Surely.
Sure has nothing else to do with it.
Surely.
Again, putting me on DPS was a very bad decision. Anyways, and he was being very, very like persistent and adamant about trying to get that sorted. Spammy to a degree. You could say it could be like they're just like spammy. And I believe Sagiri had asked for them to stop, and they didn't stop. And then he got a ban for the rest of the NUEL split. But they did end up getting ID checked, and they did end up winning the series afterwards. That's all I can remember from it. I'm not sure if there's like any missing context about it.
Yeah, no, that's that. From what I recall, that's about it. I don't think there's any extra context needs to be added. The point is the teams had history together. There was also some stuff about there was also some weird scheduling stuff where I think MMU had their second team playing, and their second team like forfeit, and who was it that this was against as well? Glasgow, right?
Yeah, so I believe Glasgow had contacted someone from their second team asking if they had forfeited, and they said yes, they had forfeited, but on behalf of their second team rather than their first team.
Yeah,
and they had assumed that was
the first
from
team
their
forfeited.
first team, and so they had.
And then big panic ensued.
Yeah,
because and then I think that's a reason why. Again, I could just be like literally spreading misinformation on the internet.
That's so
which I love
fine.
doing
That's what
as
the
a pastime.
podcast is for.
But
perfect.
part of it was that might have been a reason why Horrocks was so adamant about getting the ID checks, because Glasgow apparently like they already got their forfeit, and they were really saying like no, like we don't need to play this match out now. Like they said that they forfeit, something like that. That leads to ID checks. My only take on it, I can say, is, and I'm gonna go for the very middle ground answer because I like everyone involved. Obviously, Horrocks is super cool, very nice, chill guy, and all that. But obviously, I've worked with NUEL with casting and all that. I don't know exactly what was said. People from Manchester told me that it wasn't really that bad, but something tells me that you aren't going to get banned from NUEL by saying things that aren't that bad, you know? That
Mm.
isn't a judgment about what was said, and it's not also judgment about the character of Horrocks. Again, he's a lovely guy, but if he got pissed off and that kind of got the better of him, again, maybe if you want to like hash it out, I don't know. My idea is that you don't get banned by politely requesting ID checks, you know?
Perhaps, yeah. The only thing I wanted to add is, while that entire thing was happening, we were actually on stream playing the third map of the Warwick ECO match that we've mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
And
that fucking match.
I had a lot of DMs on Discord saying to either throw the entire map
But hash free
and just
Horrocks in
protest,
chat.
put
Oh,
like
God.
3 Horrocks in chat, or the other team actually asked us as well, or at least someone on UCL has asked us to like do something silly for Horrocks. So if you saw 2 Rams blocking at each other and not doing anything else on first point, maybe
In
those 2
loving
issues are
memory.
connected, you know?
surely that's just the Ram gameplay loop anyway.
Exactly,
Just
yeah,
stare at the
yeah.
other Ram, and then you're both blocking and then in
Just
front of
both
each other.
like standing for like a whole minute, nobody like capping their point. Maybe those issues were connected. I
The
can't
Ramattra
confirm.
dance, as we call it.
Exactly.
Cannot confirm or deny the allegations.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was but that was an incident. I feel there's a lot of this isn't necessarily quite as related, but it might go into the hot take thing. A lot of players in uni sports, I agree that trash talk is good, but most people don't know how to do it. It's either like it's either just obnoxious and annoying, and it comes off where you play against a team and they're just spamming like random shit in chat when they're winning.
Not the copy pastors, the Warwick copy pastors.
I don't know.
They were
what-
so bad. They were so bad.
Look, the copy pastors have traumatized me enough, and honestly, the copy pastors are like they're actually kind of funny, and that's fine. But that's the
something.
idea that, you know, everyone's kind of friends, and it's mostly it is friendly banter at that point. When it's teams that don't know each other that well, again, there's obnoxious random spam, and then, as you said, in the case of Oxford and Loughborough, it just gets weirdly personal, and it's like generally just be a gracious loser and be a gracious winner. You know, if you won, cool, move on with your life. If you lost, sucks, move on with your life, kind of deal.
Can highly
I
recommend.
remember.
Oh,
I was just
Eunice can maybe go first.
okay.
I was gonna say that the closest thing we've gone to like good banter that we've had, or like good drama, or good conflict, would be the whole Kitty input thing with Warwick and.
We're gonna talk about that. Don't worry. Gonna feature at some point soon.
Someone for
Finn?
the quiz. Oh, I was just gonna say. I remember last year. I think JJPT. He was a good, like, trash talker, because he was like one of those. He never said anything like. He never he never said anything like really bad, but it got to me. It actually did get to me a lot. Like, I'd have to mute chat stuff. Like, I couldn't deal with his like yapping and voice chatting. Says me,
Like
but
our entire like tradition of like writing those copy pastas actually came from like what Warwick and old Portsmouth and old Warwick used to do all the time.
Yeah.
Like the past years, where they would literally just like come up with like new weirder copy pastas every single time. And when I was playing on second team for Warwick, actually, like last year, and we played against Portsmouth, they did that against us as well. But at that point, I was neither aware of the entire tradition existing and also just, you know, kind of a new, like, shy player, you know. And it does actually get to you. If you don't know that it's actually just like friendly banter, it does get to you, even if it's like Warwick's second team and Portsmouth. It's like we're on friendly terms, obviously, but like we don't know each other. Like we don't know like how it happens. So yeah.
Also, Rosden single-handedly traumatized me. But that's a
The
conversation
only
for
thing,
another day.
something, the only thing ruined, something.
Something. Not safe for life. Not safe for chat. Not
Redacted.
for life.
Redacted.
Redacted.
You're going to redacted. You're redacted. What? Yeah, live on and that was live on stream. And then what I love is that 4 minutes later, the most egregious C9 in like human history was committed, and I've lost my mind because we'd come. This was like the end of the day as well. So it was like 10 p.m. This was an epic land. I was exhausted from the day of casting. It was 5 maps between Warwick and 721, and then this is happening, and then there's a C9, and I'm just losing my shit. Like, I'm not getting paid for this, man. What am I doing?
I think
Never gonna get this opportunity.
every single
Well, I
time
regret
that
this.
we like paste the copy pastes in, it's like we just pray that like match chat is on so that stream can see it, or like at least
Well, we also need like it's also a judgment call when you're casting of are you actually going to acknowledge it or not? Because I can say from experience, on stream was Esports Organization versus Banbury Barbarians. It was Jaru who was chatting a lot of like shit in the chat, but it just felt all a bit. Again, it fell more on the instead of funny trash talk, it was obnoxious.
you're
spam.
chatting shit to like
And so
college
that-
kids, like
Yeah, I really didn't like that. Bro was like trying to yap to literal college students who were just there to have
Interesting.
fun.
yeah. Shout out
it's like,
Esports
okay.
Organization, you guys are great. We all love you.
Uh-oh.
No, this is a whole different can of worms. This
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not,
Let's
it's not
not-
really on the university esports side of
Let's
things.
not open
We
it
really
here,
do
yeah.
stick clear.
Alright,
Yeah.
I can get George to go manage ICL, surely.
Sure.
Make him wake up on time.
UCL gonna
You're
go
gonna
from
have a job then,
29th
Unis.
to
What-
I mean,
what-
no,
what-
I'm their cheerleader. I don't know what you're talking about.
What I will say is all of the esports organization stuff, it came out with the best tweet like in human history. I love it. Are we able to get it up like on the screen if I
Which-
share the thing in unNUELable?
might be able
I
to.
have a screenshot of it. It's just like it is my favorite tweet of the century.
Right, we're gonna add it in post production, so
We're gonna
Is
see
every-
what I can do. Post production.
cool.
All right, is it there? Speak. All right. Are we giving a dramatic monologue of this?
Go for it. Yeah.
You go ahead,
All
yeah.
right. Speak your truth, King. Sorry for telling you I can't read. The truth is, I'm only mildly dyslexic, with just a bit of tomfoolery on my behalf. As for these Ianto lot, their captain is Welsh. You and me both know they aren't to be trusted. Back to the drawing board with a roster selection, I reckon. We need strong men from preferably before the D-estuary divide. As for their allegations of shit-talking, we both know we just love a pint. Couple Stellas and the whole land hall's getting smashed has always been my motto. Just because these no-name randoms can't handle a bit of shithousery on a rainy night in the Birmingham Ibis doesn't mean we should censor ourselves. Seen a lot of the rejects of the scene chime in as well. Control, Yari? What the fuck's a Yari, first of all, mate? Control's meant to be on your keyboard, so why is there bloke with a barnet from the Argos catalogue barking at me on the Bird app? None of them have the SEO ingenuity of our tier 1 PR marketing mechanism, so it's no surprise they can't keep up. Keep on grinding, Georgie boy. We'll be having a ruddy EO merger before Sainsbury's run out of creme. It's just the best tweet I've ever seen.
My
Shout out.
God.
Big shout
I'm
out to
not
George
even
there.
commenting- Not
It is
even
like
commenting.
very. It's like
on
very
any of
villain
the
monologue.
drama. Yeah, I'm not even commenting at any drama. It has produced the best tweet of my life. I have like a pic dump channel where I just put like a bunch of pictures that I want to save. This is the most recent entry.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah. But
It's iconic.
anyway, but to wrap up what I was saying before, because I like to yap a little bit, who would have thought? You have to make call whether you're going to acknowledge that. Again, a lot of people are just obnoxious spammers. Sometimes it's funny, oftentimes not so much.
Hmm.
The key takeaway is shout out to George though.
Icon.
We love
Wonderful man.
Esports Organization.
That's oomph.
Oomph.
Oh, boy.
Right. I think let's in that case move on to probably the most anticipated part of unNUELable. From the feedback that we got for the first episodes, the most missed part in the first episode, which is the quiz.
Hell
So-
yeah.
Ooh.
We've
Good
prepared a quiz. The way it's gonna work is I will not bother to track points, so if you want to track points, feel free. If not, then we're gonna do that in post-production and we're gonna find out who wins later.
Fuck.
The viewers will always
Can
know.
it be so
Can we all
Okay.
track our own points? Can we just track our own points?
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
no, I have
If you
I
can-
have 90 points. That's all I'm saying.
If
I-
you-
Oh, of course, of course.
If you want to remember them, then go for it. But yeah, so I have a bunch of questions for you here. Some of them are multiple. One of them is multiple choice, actually.
Some of them.
Some of them are asking for specific people. Some of them are asking for a specific hero. Some of them will be asking you to guess how close to a number you can get. And yeah, we're gonna finish it off with a very fun list exercise. So
Exercise? What the fuck?
right.
Is it
So-
a
We're
free for all?
gamers. We don't do exercise. What the hell?
I'm sure. I can
Right.
I can record scores. I have a receipt that I have from like a couple of months ago.
Very
Okay,
professional.
so
Yes, so
Can I just ask, is it a free for all? Like, do we just shout it out, or are we going round,
it
or does it
is-
depend on the question?
well, let me finish the question and then it's a free for all. For
Ping
some of
diff.
them,
It's gonna be a ping diff.
for some of
Yeah.
them, yeah, for some of them you're gonna go around and like gonna be like the closest guess wins.
Okay.
But for now it's like assume that like as soon as I finish the question it's a free for all.
Alright.
So yeah, so
I've got my NUEL and NSE web pages open and ready. No, I'm joking.
right, the first question. Which one of these brands has not sponsored NUEL in the past? 4 options: Nvidia, Amazon, Levi's, and Red Bull. Feel free to answer.
Red
I
Bull.
gotta go Levi's.
I was gonna go Levi's.
I think Levi's is there. I think
No, actually, I
Levi's
know.
is
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
go.
there.
I'm gonna go Red Bull. I'm gonna go Red Bull.
I was saying Red Bull.
You locking in on your answers?
Have you
Locked
two
in.
locked in?
I've locked in.
I've locked in.
NUEL have had the Red Bull campus
They
clutch or
have.
clash event. So
Fuck.
not that. You're speaking to like one of the like unpaid for by this company, bro. What was the first one again?
Nvidia.
Nvidia. I mean, it makes sense that Nvidia would sponsor them.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
does, yeah.
remember. It's definitely Amazon has. Amazon has definitely.
100%, yeah.
NUEL didn't have any sponsors to shout out this season. I'm gonna go Levi's lock in.
Unfortunately, you're wrong.
Oh, it's me, Nvidia.
It's actually Nvidia, yeah.
Yeah, it's
No
Nvidia.
way.
What?
Nvidia has never
Yeah.
How
sponsored
did they
NUEL.
get the Levi's sponsorship?
I didn't write the question. I'm equally as surprised as you are.
Jesus.
It's easy to keep scores at least.
True, true. Everyone's-
We are currently all on zeros.
Everyone's on around 0, so
No shot that
fantastic.
esports company is getting sponsored by the shoe company. I don't. What?
Alright, so this one is gonna be much more of a free for all. I would expect most of you know the answer, so it's gonna be whoever answers it first or whoever I hear answers it first. So good luck.
Okay.
Who has said the famous quotes?
Stuffs.
I told you to at least let me finish the question.
Sorry.
The question was gonna be who on Portsmouth has said the famous quote that included the phrase "kiddie input."
The stuffs.
It was Stuffs. I'm afraid.
You can
I'm
give
afraid-
Younisco the point.
I don't know what to say about that.
You can give Younisco the point.
I get the
scammed
50
that.
point. I get the
I
50.
scammed
I'll
that.
take what I can get, bro. I can take what I can get.
Fucking kiddie input, man.
Those fucking kiddie inputs, honestly. Hi Matt, how are you
Fucking
doing?
kiddie inputs. Hello, Matthew Murray.
whenever
Matthew Murray's running all this.
whenever he's
behind
actually
the
hitting
scenes.
his shots, I love Matthew Murray.
Instead of
Um,
Colosseo
about
clip. Not the
Not
Colosseo
the
clip.
Colosseo clip. The Colosseo clip is gonna have to roll.
As Matt Murray still on his high ground, has the overclock right behind the Sojourn, hit a shot challenge, difficulty impossible, apparently, as the duel does come out. No! Matt Murray, you can't be doing that!
Oh dear!
That is something that's going to be haunting the nightmares.
Oh,
Hopefully, you can get a good night
no!
of sleep tonight, because I would not be sleeping
That
well.
was a beef of galactic proportions!
Alright, now, next question is, in the Spring 2024 NSE NUEL season, because of a new patch, what hero was banned for a week?
Oh. No. Was it Farah?
Are you looking in?
I would say Farah, yeah.
Ben, Edgar?
Yeah.
I
Do we all get a choice?
Yeah,
I feel like it's
Farah.
cheating because I wasn't gonna say. I was gonna say Farah, but no, I heard Younisco say Farah. I'm 100% saying Farah. Yeah.
Because Farah got the big rework.
Farah got reworked,
so
yeah.
They wanted to redo
Yeah.
that, yeah.
So you all locked in on Farah?
Yeah.
Would you just be wrong?
Well, unfortunately,
What the?
it wasn't Farah.
Wait,
It was Roadhog.
Okay.
who got reworked?
It was Roadhog.
Hog?
Do you not
in
remember
spring?
when
Oh,
in NSE spring, or I'm fairly sure it was spring, or was it winter? And my writers just got it wrong. But
because
That could.
I think
only
no,
hero-
'cause I
Roadhog was
remember-
no, like he was reworked ages ago.
the
wasn't
only
he?
hero that
It was reworked in winter.
then it must have been winter season. That's my bad, and the people who, Matt's bad actually. 'cause
We
Matt
all
wrote
need
that
a
question.
point. We all need a point. We all need a
I-
point. Nah.
The input
You
brain.
can all get a point. You can all get 0 points.
It also
but
doesn't matter because we all got the same answer.
The only
So-
hero that was actually banned from NSC it was for like the past 2 seasons was actually Roadhog because one player has texted in admin support before a match day. I think it was in Swiss. That so how are we like supposed to play with Roadhog if like the patch only released like 2 days ago? Surely he should be like banned for a week.
Oh,
and
come on.
I remember this. Maybe it was this season.
Who said that? Was that Jackie?
don't think
Because
it was Jackie.
I remember someone specifically doing that because they were going to play MMU and MMU were like the like hog
Hog one
OTP
trick
team.
team.
So like
That's actually
so-
like an insane strat.
so from what I can see, Hog got reworked 14th of November.
That was
and
winter season.
Farah
then,
got
yeah.
reworked with season 9, so the 13th of Feb.
Yeah, Farah was not disabled, and
Really?
no.
Oh,
Sure.
I think that might have. I don't know. I actually don't know.
But yeah,
So none of us get points.
no.
So it
I
will
mean,
still.
you can either all get 1 point for my mistake.
And
or
there's no
not.
difference. There's actually no
There
There's
is
difference.
absolutely no
literally no
difference.
difference.
All right, so for this question, I would like you to get a number, and if you don't get the absolute number, the closest guess is gonna win. So, how many
Wait,
votes?
check the unNUELable chat quickly.
Yeah, Matt is saying that they got it correct.
That we were all correct.
It says
Really?
Farah angry.
it says Farah
Well.
angry. Jakub?
Well,
So we all get
That's
1 point.
that's not the answer I was
Yoo-hoo!
given, but well, it still doesn't matter because you all picked Farah, so it's like
Yeah, baby. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
we're
looking
all
for.
even anyway. It's fine.
yeah, exactly. All right,
True.
next question. How many votes did Coolbean69 receive for second place in NSE Monster Plays?
Oh.
Again, the closest guess is
I'm-
gonna win.
I'm
so
going to withhold mine because mine will probably be closest. I'm gonna
Yeah,
withhold mine.
it's an advantage.
we
to get
can
seconds.
coordinate it, and basically everyone's gonna say it at the same time.
I have a
Sure.
number.
Do we
I
want
know
to
what
do
I'm gonna
that?
say.
The thing is, we had Corbyn's come into our server just to campaign.
Corbyn's within every server.
Corbyn's came to a bar night in London and was
Yeah.
getting everyone there to vote.
Corbyn 16.
And still lost. I can't believe it.
Damn Valorant players.
Valorant shit, I got it. Can't believe it. But yeah, I can count down from 3, and on 1,
Mhm.
everyone's gonna say the number.
Well, why
Okay.
don't we just lock it in our heads and then we'll just be honest about it? Because
Well,
otherwise we're not going to be able to hear
we
what
go,
people
we go in
said.
order. So
Just
like,
be honest, guys. Just be honest.
I have a number. I know.
I
what
have a
I'm gonna
number
say.
as well.
okay. Let's go.
I do. I do.
Right, in that case, we're just gonna go in order. So, Finn,
I say 189.
Unisco,
201.
Edgar.
I have 160.
All right, so Edgar is very far off, but
Okay.
Unisco is actually the closest. The correct number was 198. So you're only
Oh.
3 off.
Oh.
I actually knew it was like either 189 or 198, but I couldn't remember which
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Obviously, you just
I actually did. No, I actually did.
yeah.
Maybe I'm not a Corbyn
Okay.
69 believer. What can
You're
I say?
just not a believer. You're not
I
a true
did. I
fan.
did vote for Corbyn 69. I did.
I
vote
voted.
for Corbyn
I voted.
69.
Right.
Get a badge saying I voted, and then just in small text for Corbyn 69.
And
I
again,
needed like a full campaign. Team.
I'm at next question. I'm also asking you for a number. So, how many times did the Manchester Bees play the Portsmouth Paladins this split, just in spring, in both NUEL and NSE? Just in spring.
Including not just playoffs.
Yeah, including like all the entire season.
I've got
Yeah.
a number.
All
I've
the
got
good
a number.
numbers?
Yep.
Cool. Same order. Finn?
8.
Unisco?
3.
Edgar.
Oh, have I overshot?
4.
It's not 8, I can tell you that much.
Wait, in NUEL and NSE?
Yeah.
In Swiss and playoffs?
Yeah. They
Oh,
played
okay.
they played each other 4 times actually, so Edgar,
Oh, I'm so
you're
Yeah.
correct.
cool and handsome. What
Okay.
can I say?
You're just not a Cool Beans fan, you're a Manchester Bees fan or a Portsmouth
Cool.
Pirates fan, whichever.
True.
So congratulations. That's a point for you.
Oh, yeah. Still
Unis
on
can
top,
note
still
that
on top.
down.
Yeah, I have.
Right. This is gonna be probably a rapid fire round because you're all gonna know this. So as soon as I finish the question, just go for it. Whoever gets it first, like, get a point. So fill in the blank, or not fill in the blank, but like finish the quotes. This is a formal warning.
Run yourself in.
Run yourself in. Oh,
Yep, UNESCO got it.
Fuck.
Shout out disagree. Love that.
Oh.
Great quotes. Providing content forever.
It just has to be the Ryan.
It has to be.
Damn Ryan. If Ryan's not good in the game, he'll be good outside of the game, you know.
Exactly.
One day we'll get a Ryan meta, surely.
Right. And the last question, more of an exercise. I would like you to list all of the teams that have made these. Close your brackets now. Don't look at any of the brackets from today.
Okay.
List me all of the teams that have made NUEL or NSE top 8. There are 12 of those teams. We're gonna go in order. And yeah, you just get a point for every single team that you get correct.
Okay, I see.
Right. So I'm gonna give Cass the benefit here. So Agda, you can start.
Oh yeah. Ah shit. Okay. Top 8. Fuck me. Okay. So Warwick. Oxford.
Wait.
Just yeah,
Just like by one.
One.
Just by one. So you say one team, next person gets a chance, then next person, and we just go in a cycle.
Right. Okay, Warwick.
Gonna look in Warwick for you.
I'm really glad you said Oxford because I actually didn't know the Oxford played. So you made a freebie there. I'll take Oxford on next.
Right, Younisco?
So this is NUEL or NSE.
Yeah, both. There's 12 teams
Okay.
that have made top 8 and
Okay, so Loughborough.
right, yeah. Like that?
Durham.
Correct. Yeah. Then?
Donuts.
Correct, yeah.
Shit.
There's still
Oh,
quite a few more.
I'm aware there's quite a few more, but Southampton.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, good.
Euston.
Yep. Only in one of them, but yeah.
This might be a risk. Strathers?
True, they did.
Yes.
Strathers. Shout out Isaac Spectrum Bailey.
Yeah.
My
Shout
God,
out.
Isaac Spectrum Bailey.
Go.
Right, 4 more teams.
God. I had like literally every single team is just like a complete. The only 2 teams that I've come into my head is just always going to be Warwick and Ox.
I need to put a time.
I'll just say like Kent or something.
True.
They make it. Oh my
Kent
God.
was in.
Yeah, that was I think that was just NSE.
Probably, yeah.
that they made it. Yeah.
Yeah, because they did drop out in the play-in so that much. Yeah. 3 more teams.
3 more. Fuck me, man. we said Durham a while ago, didn't we?
Yep, Durham's been said.
Yeah.
They're not particularly obvious. One of them maybe.
Hull.
True.
Hull Flex
Supports.
Hull Flex supports. My
Ah,
goats.
Shout out. Great team.
I will go with Manchester Bees.
Unfortunately not. Sorry, Finn.
Fair enough.
So
I had
Finn-
too much faith.
Yeah, Finn, you're
So
out.
how many?
Am I
teams are there?
eliminated?
You're eliminated, sorry to say.
There are two
Cool.
left.
There's
right?
2 more, yeah. I
Aw.
believe you should be able to get one more. One of them. The other one is insane.
I have one locked in my head, and like
The issue is that I don't. I literally looked at this bracket
Pick a
literally
team.
like an hour ago.
we were literally
Oh.
talking about this like
Yeah.
40 minutes ago.
Wait, is it Ports?
It's Ports, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Ports
Ports
is still there.
Portsmouth.
One last team. If you get it, I will be really impressed.
I have a wild card guess. I know I'm not in, so I'll wait. But...
We can talk about it like after, but
Okay, right. Okay, so the ones that we've been through, we've gone through all the obvious ones.
No.
We've done
Yeah.
Donuts as well. We've done Hull, Portsmouth. I'm gonna. I'm just gonna say fuck it and go with Beckett Bears.
you'd be correct. That's actually the
Wow.
last
I might
team.
just be the
Oh.
goat. I might just
You
be
might-
the
you
I
might
might
just
be the
be-
top fucking player.
Actually, might
Alright.
just be the best.
That's
I
impressive.
didn't expect anyone to
Okay.
actually get that.
Interesting.
I
Becca
mean, I
Bears.
kind of had to. I had to look at these brackets a lot, but I also am not sure where that one fucking came from.
Yeah, Becca Bears, you surprised us
Yeah.
all. Fun fact, Becca Bears was actually one of like 2 teams that actually took a map off of Warwick this entire season. And that was
Fucking
because both me and J9 were stuck going to Epiclan where we were supposed to play our NSE game because our
right.
Uber broke down in the middle of a motorway. So that was
Damn.
very fun, lovely experience. We couldn't play map 1, so they lost. But we came back and won.
Interesting.
Wow,
So yeah, that actually
intriguing.
truly wraps up the quiz.
Well played.
that was a good quiz.
Yeah. So we're at 1 hour and 20. Pretty sure that's longer than
Can we
last time.
get scores?
Do you want
Uh,
scores?
I definitely did the worst. Like I don't think I got anything right.
I'll go in reverse order. So it's Finn who's last with 3 points. Then
Huge.
it's
Thank you.
Edgar. With 7 points, and then me with 8.
Ooh.
Rigged.
Congratulations,
Wow.
Younisco.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, I actually have like 14 points here. It says.
Oh, that's good. Not even my fucking Beckett Bears clutch could save me. No.
You win absolutely nothing. Congratulations.
Fuck.
The tiebreaker would have been what does pro player J9 do when there is a high noon on
When there's a high
every
noon.
team? That would have been the tiebreaker.
Stay in cover.
Or,
Stay in cover.
or we can name the like each supplement that he takes before each NUEL game.
We'll be
The
here all
list is
day.
too long,
We don't
the
have 2
list is too
hours.
long.
Yeah.
Oh god, there's only so much glazing I can do, man.
All right. In that case, unless any of you have anything to add or anything that you'd like to say for the fans,
We have fans.
I'm looking
we
forward to
have
the Reddit
so many
comments.
fans.
I'm looking forward to the Reddit comments. It was very, very wholesome seeing Jaws comment on that, by the way.
That's
Yeah.
very
Discord,
true,
by the
actually.
way.
Yeah.
Especially as someone who's working production in NUEL, it's like you should
Yeah.
work production in NUEL. And I'm like, I should work production in NUEL. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
And then there's Smile and chat. What is a NUEL?
Even
There's like It was like me, Jackie, and Orange W, who's one of the Kent alumni. We came across him in one of our ranked games in like one of the seasons. I can't remember, and we're just sort of like reminiscing on like, they were reminiscing because I'm like new, but they were sort of like reminiscing on old times, and it's crazy. Like I don't know,
Back in my day.
Yeah, it's just like very wholesome. It's very, very wholesome.
Yeah. Right. If there's nothing to add, then I'm gonna start saying thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Agda, the Chief Nottingham Glazer. Thank you, Younisco, the weirdly pleasant recurring guest.
Weirdly pleasant individual.
It's so over for me. It's actually just so over.
Thank you so
Is this
much.
over for me?
And thank you so much, Finn, the meta slave from Oxford. One day you'll maybe win. And yeah.
Oh my.
That will be it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one before NSE and NUEL summer.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.